Can we open the cameras? Morning, Akila. Good morning, Niveda. Let's begin.
Yes, ma'am.
So any questions from yesterday's class? Okay, so carry on with the further thing. So we completed two kinds of goals yesterday of you, which is physical and mental. And today we are going to talk about social health. How the impact of yoga is there on our social health and how are we going to take care of these things. So number one here is genuine contacts. So how many of you do you feel that you have genuine contacts in your life? People you can actually count on, people you can actually call anytime if you are in a problem. Do you have that kind of a list made for you? I'm requesting again to open the cameras because, as you know, it's an interactive session and I love to see you talk more.
What's the question?
The question is the point number one, that how many genuine contacts, genuine in the sense that you can call and count on at any point in time, whether you are in trouble or you are in happy times.
Yes, I have that concept.
How many people you can count on your fingers?
Yes, ma'am. It's very countable.
Yeah, it's countable.
Countable? And
Yes, ma'am.
most of them would be family members?
Friends.
Not really so.
Okay, some friends.
Yes, ma'am.
And then why do you feel that how many people do we meet in our lifetime? How many people do we meet? All right, maybe we are all 30, 35, 40 years of age, correct? How many people you would have met so far in your lifetime?
More than 1,000.
Sorry?
More than 1,000, ma'am.
Okay,
Approximately.
1,000 approximately. How many?
So many people.
Rough idea. Just a number. 800, 1,200, 1,500, something like that.
Daily we are meeting more than 10 people. So
Yeah.
that case.
Right, so many people, and still our genuine contacts are how many people, which are countable? 5, 6, 10, 15, right? That's all. Why does it happen with us? Why do you think our social health is so limited?
We actually leave, ma'am. We don't try to get in connection with them on a sequential basis. Probably
Some
that
people
would be. And the
meet
expectation level.
Yes, expectation level is also very important because people have different kind of expectations from relationships. Give me some and I give you some. It's always give and take, some form. Correct? So how do you think the yoga goals have an impact on our social health? Can actually doing yoga or can actually doing meditation or any kind of such things improve our social health? Can it?
The question is, does it improve our social
Yeah,
health?
how do we improve ourselves that our social health improves? Right? Simple, simply put. Can we improve ourselves so that our social
Yes,
health,
ma'am.
the
Yes, of course.
genuine
Yes,
contacts
ma'am.
that we build, can be changed?
Yes, ma'am. Because the expectation will be nil, and we will be in a will be authentic to ourselves. Will not be opposite side. Always keeping on expectation or things like smile. Also, when we get down, just a smile. Also, before and all, we'll be having like they have to smile. Then only I can smile. A good
Right.
morning. From there, that side only we'll be expecting, ma'am. But this yoga, meditation, and all. Uh, once we are into this, we since we know that Agam Brahmasmi, so everybody is having the same thing. So the smile and things will happen on its own.
Correct. Very, very true. So, if I say that there is a mantra for this also, and this mantra is I am another you. Will it work? I am another you. मतलब कि मैं आपका ही स्वर हूँ हिंदी में please say that. Right? That I am another part of you. Am I similar to you? I am just like you. And when with this feeling, we start growing our mindset. We start looking at people without expectations, without judgments, without prejudices, without stereotypes. And what happens when all these distractions, all these things gets disabled from our mind, our relationship becomes automatically genuine with people. Because now you're looking to people from a different perspective altogether. You have a different spectacle on your eyes, and you're looking at people from the perspective that they are just like you. They are just another part of you. It is told, it is said in spiritualism that whosoever you meet in your lifetime here on earth already has a past with you. You have already shared some kind of relationship with them in past, whether good or bad. And that's why these people return because we have not controlled, we have not really broken away our ties with them. So imagine when you're meeting the people you have already met in so many other lifetimes, what are you going to do changing your behavior this time? Because you already know you already know meditation. You know that things are carrying forward from I don't know how many years, how many ages, how many lifetimes. So how do we stop doing that so that all our relationship becomes very, very genuine? What are we going to do about it? So first is pranayama. Pranayama clarifies the entire mind and brain, removing all kind of judgment and prejudices. And yes, again, we have to practice it also very thoroughly. We have to remove all those obstacles which talks about that why I am thinking something about other people in a wrong manner. All right. Again, another question. How many of you judge people on the way what they wear every day? Unconscious, not knowingly. What he's wearing, what she's wearing, all those things. How many times do we judge people on that? Right. Guys, your cameras are still not on. एक बार request करने के बाद तो सब मान जाते हैं.
The judgment will not be there, ma'am, but we will be passing on some comments which unfavorably means we will pass on some comments easily.
So that is judgment only, right? Isn't it? If you are passing comment on somebody, isn't it a judgment?
Ma'am, me also, ma'am. Earlier, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, yes, I can.
Yeah. Earlier, even I used to judge people based on what they're wearing, like whether they are good in quality or not, or whether they have a lot of negativity within them or not, or like if they are up to our status or not. So these kind of judgment was there in me earlier, but as I grew older, maybe it's because of maturity or something. Now that judgmentalism is have reduced in me. Now I'm not judging people mostly on their external appearance, or what they are wearing, or in what car they are coming, what status they are. No, because now I think that every individual, irrespective of their status, the amount of money they have, the wealth they have, or whatever external things that they are wearing, everyone is a separate human being, and each human being has their own positive and negative side. So, and based on that quality only, we can judge a person. Like, no one can be good always, no one can be bad always, but it is a situation that changes them. Also, it's based on the consistency, like how many times they are following positivity, how many times they are following positivity or positive things, and how many times they are like following negativity, or doing negative stuff. I think that is something we have to look into.
So you have summed it up really well. Then what happens over a period of time is that we don't really think about what repercussions our way of thinking is going to have on other people. So unconsciously, like we were talking about yesterday's experience, that a lot of experiences we gain during our lifetime, that we keep storing all these things in our mind. For example, very basic example is regional biases. That Biharis are like that, Punjabis are like that, South Indians are like that. So this is a very common bias, common stereotype that we carry forward in our brain. Police people are corrupt, so these are the things that we generally think. And what is the outcome? What is the result of these stereotypes and biases is that we do not try and bring in genuine contacts in our life. There are multiple people at multiple levels that we know who can actually help us in our career, who can help us achieve our personal goals, who can help us achieve so many things in life if we connect with them really well. But what we do is in our ego, in our, this status thing that we're talking about, in our status quo, lot many other things, really cramp up our mind and brain, and we do not start believing on people. How many of us can actually trust people 100%? Can we? How many people do we trust? Again, countable 5, 7, 10, 15, correct? Again, very close contacts that you keep meeting every day or you know very genuinely. Now, look from this perspective that if you are not trusting people, are people trusting you also? Are you part of very close knit network of people? How many people can count on you? Again, people who are countable. So what you give is coming back to you in a similar manner. If you are not trusting people, people are not trusting you. If you do not set expectations right with people, the same thing is happening to you. That is this mantra talks about that I am another you means that whatever I am seeing that's the same thing as a mirror in other people. If I'm not having good experiences in life, purely because there is something not really right in myself. And I have to correct that. Right? And how we are going to correct that, we have already seen that. We have already discussed that through our physical and mental goals that we have talked about yesterday. Physical activities, mental clarity, bringing that clarity of thoughts, practicing relaxation techniques and meditation techniques. So the moment your unconscious mind starts getting clear of all these negative experiences in life, there are chances that you are able to build much more. You are able to save much more beautiful experiences in your brain. And the more beautiful experiences and blessings you save in your brain, there are chances that your experiences are going to be much more beautiful in the coming times. Right? Try and do that also. So genuine contact can be built up with the help of yoga and meditation, and that can be achieved with her. The next point is communication with other people. Again, very much connected with the other thing, but how do we communicate with people? Do you feel nervous? Do you feel butterflies in your stomach? Are you very confident when you're talking to people? What kind of things you say to people? What kind of communication you start with? Suppose you have to meet a stranger. That's again a question for all. You meet a stranger today, somebody you don't know, and you both are left in one room. How will you start the conversation with that person? What is the kind of conversation you have?
Depends upon the place
Starting
where
from
we are.
Yeah, well, let's go one by one.
no,
Yes,
firstly
Neha,
starting
let's-
about knowing each other.
Okay.
Like
Start
basic
knowing
from
each other.
where is your where working, where living. Like that we started.
Yeah.
Then how by different topics how wavelength get matched, thoughts, how is the thought process, and after that we get communicated with each other.
Okay. Akila?
So it depends upon the place where we are. From there, we can start the conversation. Start with us, sharing about us, and then get the knowing the opposite person, other.
Yes, Gayatri? Are you there, Gayatri? Sangeeta? Guys, if you are just online and you're not attending the classes, is that so? Arjun, Santoshji,
Ma'am,
Maxim. Yeah.
Good morning, ma'am.
So let's Arjunji speak and then we'll come to you.
ma'am, regarding strangers, right?
Yes, that is
Uh, when we meet stranger, what to say? First, we will be understanding about their nature, their work style, and based on that, we'll be starting our conversation and other things, ma'am.
okay.
Meeting strangers, that because in day-to-day life we will be meeting many strangers only. So there is what to say? No hesitation or nothing in meeting anyone, ma'am.
Okay, you can meet a stranger confidently.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No issue. Because I'm into sales and marketing field, so daily we will be meeting more than what to say. Known people will be meeting limited only. Unknown people only will be meeting more.
Right.
So and we have to speak what to say more only. So no issue in meeting strangers, ma'am.
So that's for the professional purposes. What about personal life?
In personal life,
Okay.
personal life means what to say. We won't be meeting strangers, no, ma'am.
Yeah.
Where will be meeting strangers in personal life?
Anyway, suppose you meet somebody just stranger, maybe on a
In
live.
personal life, we will be avoiding, ma'am. Maximum we will be avoiding meeting speaking with strangers.
Okay, and why is that? Why would we avoid meeting a stranger in personal life?
What to say? We will be focusing on our work and activity. So, and if the stranger is in our line of work or in our line of our activity, I will be speaking, or else I will be avoiding. So, if I meeting some person who is what to say, he is working similar kind of my job, I will be speaking, or some person apart from work means he is also, if some person is practicing yoga I will be speaking something whom we are relating to us. I will be speaking, ma'am.
Okay. No. Yes, Gayatri, you were saying something.
Ma'am, regarding speaking to strangers, or what will we do when we meet a stranger, ma'am?
Yeah. How many times do you feel confident about meeting strangers? What do we do? How do we communicate with strangers?
I have no problem in meeting strangers because I feel that meeting a lot of new people gives me a lot of new experience, and that is what I'm doing now. So, when I went for an internship for a company, I met a lot of freshers who are like age difference, who have a lot of age difference between me and them. So it gave me a new experience, and I was able to understand and learn the perspective of today's generation people. Also, now my son is going for a karate class, and he's going only for the past 2 weeks. So for his time slot, I'm able to meet a lot of new parents. And initially, they were also a little reluctant to talk to me, and I was also a little reluctant because I want to respect their space. I don't want to just jump into their space and talk immediately. But later, after they started seeing me for quite some time, they started to initiate conversation. Even I started to initiate conversation based on the class, like how are the classes going, what are the time slots available, what are the kind of coaching they're giving here. So based on the common interest, we started talking, and then we jumped into our personal area, like from which area are you coming, from which location are you coming, what are you doing, what is your job nature, all these kind of things. So meeting a lot of new strangers, not only for me, for any person, be it a small kid or be it an adult, it will give a lot of new experiences, I feel, ma'am. And I always feel confident about meeting new strangers, until and unless if we see some people who are like mentally ill, or someone on the street, like if their appearance is not good, like if their dresses are torn or something, initially I would feel a little afraid, and I will move away from them. But now I'm just taking it in a very normal, casual way, and I'm just passing by the fellow, because only if we get afraid, or if we show some kind of fear kind of emotion, then they might tend to attack us or something. So when we are normal, they also think that, I mean, they will normalize the situation, and they will not harm us or do anything. So that is the kind of approach for me, ma'am. And otherwise, apart from them, any other stranger, I'm very comfortable in dealing with them.
Very nice. So see, this is how our communication with other people that we're talking about it. That when we are in social circles, when we are outside of our comfort of home, maybe in professional lives or personal lives, how comfortable are we talking to people? And that is a very great sign of the self-confidence that we were talking about yesterday. The more mental clarity you have about yourself, the chances are that you are very self-confident. And you can initiate talks with any stranger at any point in time, even if somebody comes to you or you want to go and ask somebody. It's very important that when we practice yoga and meditation, it actually brings a lot of clarity in our mental status, and that improves our social communication that is going to happen with people. The third point now is assume responsibility in society. So, what is the kind of responsibility are we talking about here?
Keeping the area clean, ma'am.
Yes,
Front of
very
front of our house, and then probably the streets. When we really travel, we take food items. We just that covers, paper covers, plastic covers, wherever we can see, just we can make them, collect them, and put it on the dustbin.
well.
Till we see the dustbin, we can keep it in our own bag, so that makes a social responsibility. As such, need of the hour is the plastic, so we can take our own self plates and tumblers. to avoid the minimality of the uh, minimality of the plastic usage. And even for going for the shops also, don't we have to carry our own bag, like that. Simple things we can concentrate now. And one thing I am doing is like the um, milk cover, that small thing we are cutting now, ma'am, that itself is taking so much time for decaying. So everybody will be concentrating on the big cover that is being cut, but the small part which is not collected or which is not going for recycling, na, that makes um, more destruction for the earth. So that way we means I'm collecting and sending it to one of NGOs, ma'am. So that is what I'm doing. And as a woman, as a mother of two kids, and whomever I see, I actually sell a napkin which is very degradable for the earth. So that ways I contribute my responsibility towards society now.
Very true, very true. This is how we all can assume some of the other responsibility. One is about the environment, one is about nature saving, one is about living with other, coexistence with other people and animals and other living beings. All these things. So all this has an impact on how we are going to live our life for longer time period. And that is why, when we say that yoga has eight, what do you call it, categories. Ma'am told you, correct? That yoga is actually categorized into eight different perspectives, right? Now, these eight different perspectives takes care of each and every part of our life that we are going to touch. Whether it is social responsibility, whether it is spiritualism, mental health, your own body, other people, all those things, your own family, everything is going to be taken care of. Suppose you are going to play a role in a society where you are RWA president, your own residence welfare society, you are the president of that particular society. What are the responsibilities you are going to do? Are you going to be a corrupt person whose bank account is getting filled with all the money and everything? Or you are going to resume responsibilities where you are helping out people in understanding. Whatever Niveda just said that, making sure that environment is clean, making sure that you're living to a higher standards in terms of your citizenship in India, all those things. So on a day-to-day basis, there are so many things. People assume that taking responsibility within society means taking a status, social status somewhere. That is obviously a better thing. But on a day-to-day basis, all of us can contribute in so many ways that it can entirely change the way we are living in this entire world. How many problems on a day-to-day basis we see occurring purely because what we see as growth and development has actually created more problems for us. For example, a very basic thought, right? When we did not have electricity, how were we living our lives? I'm sure we do not have that experience, but just an idea. When the electricity was not really,
If we are given a maintenance shutdown for a day, before that itself we'll be knowing tomorrow's shutdown means today itself will be known. Uh, so we will be
how can we live without electricity? Can we live without electricity?
we'll be prepared for that, ma'am. Like milk,
No, I'm not saying
water.
about a day or two. I'm saying permanent. How our forefathers, people who existed before us, how did they stay without electricity?
Because they were not used to something called electricity.
Correct?
Exactly, ma'am.
But they were existing. They had happy lives, they had good social lives, they were doing a lot of things. Everything was happening the way it is happening right now. So we developed electricity in the name of growth and development of human beings. How we
They
live their
adopted
life.
to the nature, ma'am.
Yes, they adopted to the nature, and we are going against nature now. And now what we do is somebody invented electricity. They ensure that you have life and lights, fans, ACs, everything, blowers in your home. And now you are paying for that electricity because you have to use it. Haven't we done more complexity? Haven't we brought more complexity in our life? How other people were living before us is with the trees, right? They have nature everywhere accumulated around their homes so that they don't feel hot. But what happened now over a period of time, we got into that habit कि trees को तो खत्म कर देते हैं. Let's finish trees. Let's not have nature around us. Let's just have walls made of brick and mortar, and let's bring ACs in our home. Let's bring all kind of things that is really important that we feel is important for our existence. But it is not the case. And that is what it's just a very small example. I'm not against electricity. I'm just quoting this example that this is how we have invented so many things for us that we are not actually living the life we should be. Then what happens is you get so stuck up here in this particular life that you go to hill stations to enjoy that weather. You go to hill station for 4 or 5 days to enjoy that relaxation period and get an experience which you would have got earlier here itself where you are living. And now what are we doing with hill stations also? That we don't want to live in a jhopri, we don't want to live in a small house, we want to build better houses, better hotels, luxuries. We are still looking for those luxuries even in the hill station. There also what has started happening is we have started again cutting trees. The water problem is increasing in all the hill stations. The floods are coming in all the hill stations, approximately everywhere in India. So now what are we doing? Just because we want to coexist, what are we doing as human beings is we are taking care, control of everything in the name of growth and development, and we are spoiling the entire environment. Was yoga ever meant to do such things? Was human being ever meant to do all these things? Everywhere, there is no special mention of human beings in any of the Vedas and Upanishads. Everywhere, it is written that we are part of the nature, a very municipal part of the nature. And when we are part of the nature, like an ant, like an elephant, like any other being, then why it is that we are trying to destroy whatever is there? Have you seen an ant destroying everything? Have you seen any animal destroying anything? Have you seen trees destroying anything the way we were created? So, in order to assume this responsibility within society means that whatever is being taught to us as part of being a yogi or yogini, that has to be those systems, those things has to start somewhere from us. And that is when you are going to take that social responsibility within this entire system. So if you feel, if you think that yogini or yogi, becoming a yogi and yogini is just about giving classes, making sure that your physical health and mental health is there, it is not. It is also a larger responsibility in terms of how you are coexisting with other things, other species in this world. And you are making sure that everybody is getting a good experience living around. That's when your responsibility is going to be taken care of. So what we can do is, and again, I'm not saying because I just have to say it in the class. Again, we practice it and then I started saying it. So we have minimalized everything in our home. We don't use too much of AC until unless it is really very hot outside and then it is required. We have minimal furniture in our home. Minimal in the sense purely which is required for existence. Other than that, we don't need any such stuff in here. I have let go of everything. Only those number of clothes which is really important for you to wear because you are professional and you have to go out and meet people and all those things. So this minimalistic living is going to help us out. That's the first step that can actually help us out coexist and live with other things. Just go through your home today. Just see how many things which are just there just for the sake of it. We don't use it. There is no use for those things in here. And why we have just cluttered it around in our homes is because it gives a good feeling that I have something. I have a television, which is large television, and I don't watch it. I don't know, last 8, 9 years I have not watched television. It's just there purely because my son wants to watch it. That's it. Right? So this is how the minimalistic living is that something that you're not using, something which is of no use. Why have it? Somebody else might be of greater use. Somebody might be able to use it much more better than you. Right? So that's the responsibility that we're talking about, and that's one of the important goals of social health that we have to acquire. Next is work for the community. Now, again, both the points are very much related. So, Niveda has already told you about this particular thing, that working for the community is that you take responsibility of how the community should live together, either through some designation, some social status, or maybe just purely by knowing that what you are doing and what you are doing is correct or incorrect. Not throwing garbage here and there, plastic use, how much things that you can control minimally, and how many things that you can use which can actually create better experience, not just for you but for the community living together. Before money was introduced anywhere, the currency was introduced anywhere in this world, people used to have a barter system. You help me in doing something and I help you in doing something. That's how the coexistence were happening. And that happened for thousands of years. So this money thing, the currency thing has brought in more power and corruption only, not really that community living. So community living ke liye, it is always important that when you are living in a social circle, very important is that helping somebody out, supporting somebody out is very important. Right? For example, any of your best friends or good friends or relatives starts a business. What do? They tell you that I'm starting a new business, I'm becoming an entrepreneur or a businesswoman or a man. What do you do to help them and support them? How can you do that?
Share with other friends about the business and then what she started, and then if we have any other friends in the same field, we can introduce them to have a experience of their experience to share with them. So this kind of.
Yeah, sorry, there is an electricity trouble. You can hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the question is, you heard the question, correct? So tell me who's going to answer this.
And if a person start a new business, we can help them getting financial assistance, so that for for further improvement in business, we can help, and we can bring them more customers through positive word of mouth or any kind of advertisement thing, and helping him in developing business at an initial stage.
Right. Very
Because
good.
initial stage of business development will help them to progress in the business.
Absolutely. Very true.
Yes.
Yeah. So Neha, what are you going to do? Yeah.
If we are in the community, then we can spread, as he said, we can spread through mouth, ma'am. And we can
Yes.
first
I-
Word
initially
of mouth.
we have to trust that person who does it, and we
Correct.
have to be the first procurer of that, whatever they are doing. We have to utilize, and then we have to spread it through mouth, ma'am. That is the first.
True. Yeah.
As initially,
And how many of us
there may
actually
be,
do that? Yeah. Yes, Neha. Yeah, Neha, carry on.
yeah, they may be not having that much confidence at initial level. By giving a moral support, motivation to them
True.
at the emotional level, also help them to build strongly.
Correct. And how many of us actually do that and don't ask for free things?
What,
Do we
ma'am?
do that? I'm saying that how many of us genuinely do that, what you're saying, and don't ask
Yes,
for
ma'am.
free things? That you have started a business, give me some free things, free lunches, free cup of clothes, something like that.
We will be doing
If-
voluntarily only, ma'am.
Very good. So
Yes,
this is
ma'am, we
the
don't do anything. We don't ask for any free thing and we just spread and help them.
very good. So that is, see, this is very important responsibility that you're taking care of, because people who start their business for the first time, right? It's a very good example that they want to do something different than other people. And when you start supporting them in their endeavors through maybe if you're not financially that strong to give them financial help, maybe just by moral responsibility, maybe just spreading the word by word of mouth, maybe just sharing their things on social media with your friends, that kind of a motivation, that kind of a moral, that kind of their boost in their business can be provided by all of us. And that's when we can exist in the community in a much better way, right? So this is how the coexistence of community started. So when this Ashtanga yoga ke bare mein, it was written in Upanishads, it was written from the point of view that when we do something together as a community, we do it purely for the basis of, or purely for the goal of having coexistence comes to us naturally. And coexistence means that helping one another so that we all grow at same pace. But since the currency has come in, since these rupees, dollars, all those things have come in, what is happening now is one strata of society is becoming very, very rich. One strata of society has gone down to the level where they cannot really, I don't know how many ages, how many more generations will take to come up from that, poor living and the way that they are living right now. And that coexistence thing has just stopped happening in communities everywhere. We try and bring more people in our lives who are of similar status. We try and talk to people who we feel, are of our standards by some way or the other. So that benchmarking we have created in our mind, right? So try and control these things by understanding that everyone who exists in this world, everyone who is here for some purpose. Even a house help which is coming to your place, the maid or any house help that is coming to your place, she also has a meaning of life that she has to achieve. And with coexistent, what minimum we can do for each other is give respect. Treat them with respect, whatever work people are doing around us, and that is when you will become a community worker, right?
And
Then
one more
last
thing,
is, yes, please.
one more thing
Yeah.
I want to share is like
Sure.
the kings, they have developed the temples only because of existence. Like nowadays, as you say, currency has played a major role. Those days, currency was a major role, and everybody, the part of the king ruling now, they will have the that own village or that own this thing will have everybody somebody who will be giving milk, somebody who will be painting, and the temple construction will itself have so many things to do. So everybody is employed in that, and that was the way that the existence was being done those days.
Correct.
Now,
Yeah.
education, we all have been trained to educate ourselves, and that degree and things going for work, that only has been um, what to say as a label,
Yeah. We want,
yeah.
see, it's like you're living a robotic life, and we have started loving this robotic life. We call it routine, right? But routine is not something where you're going to work at 9 a.m. without feeling happy about it. How many of us feel really happy and motivated to do the work that we are doing?
It will
Very
be there,
less.
but it will be there, ma'am, but for a while,
Yeah.
to only for understanding level, we'll be very happy, like 3 months or 7 months, something like that.
Correct.
After that, it gets somewhere frustrated, bored. We don't know what is actually running in ourselves. So that there comes again search. So
Right.
by this time, the experience will be gone, the age will be gone, everything will be gone.
Absolutely. And by the time we realize all these things, half of the life, more than half of the life is finished. And then what we do is we say that we have saved so much of money for retirement and we are going to go and travel the world. But by the time we reach that stage of retirement, half of our body has stopped functioning properly. There's a pain in the knees, there is a problem in the shoulder, there is something or the other which is going on. So we stop enjoying life. We are not relaxing and enjoying the experience that is there. And that is the fifth point also it talks about, is that wherever you are, wherever in which stage you are, whatever money you are earning and whatever profession you are in, try and stop that for a few moments in between. Relax, accept the experience, enjoy this experience that you are in, and start falling in love with your life. I told you yesterday that we are going to do an exercise for self-confidence, and it is again related to our social health as well. Now, this exercise is that I hope everyone is here.
Yes.
Okay. So, what is this exercise is that how many times or how many people in your life do you go and tell that you love them? If I ask you 3 names in your life that you say I love you to, who are those people? So let's start with Neha because I can see her name on the top. So Neha, yes. So let's start with Neha. I'll come to everyone. I'll repeat the question. So the question is, you have to say I love you to 3 people in your life. Who are these 3 people?
Kids, mother, husband.
Kids, husband, and mother. Okay. Arjundeep,
Wife, children, and parents, ma'am.
right, children and parents. Okay. Yes, Niveda.
Children, God, and myself.
Sushma, Santoshji, sorry.
Ma'am. Myself, my son, my parents, my husband, my siblings.
Three people. That's all. Just
Acha, 3 people. Myself, my son, my parents.
okay. Akila,
Same. My husband, my daughter, my mother, and my maid sometimes.
yes, guys.
Yeah.
Yes, Gayatri. Your turn.
Uh, Ma'am, myself, to God, to my sons and my parents and my husband.
Left, Gati.
Now only I came, ma'am. Actually, network issue.
Okay. Yeah. So we are asking this question, Radhi, that how many people in your life you say I love you to? 3 people. Top 3 people. You would like to say I love you to.
My parents and divine.
Great. Sangeeta.
Ma'am, my child and my husband. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, Sangeeta, can you?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. My child and my husband. Actually, I won't tell, but I will behave to my parents. I won't tell in person, but I behave like I'm loving them. But I won't be telling with my parents and all.
Okay. So how many of you said that you say I love you to yourself in the mirror?
It was very
Do
difficult
you
for
look
initially, ma'am, but now it is easy.
Yeah, can you look into the mirror and say I love you to yourself every morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Just like that? Just like you tell it to your husband or to your kids or to your wives and your parents? Why not? How many times do you spend with yourself? The maximum time that we spend is with ourselves every day. Right? And then with the same person that you're spending so much of time with, the experiences that you're sharing, all the secrets that you know of yourself, and still we don't say I love you to ourselves, why not? Don't you love yourself?
Yes, ma'am. First.
Right? Until the time you won't love yourself, how can you give that love to others? If you're not filled with love, how will that love will transfer to other people in our life? And that is the major problem that exists in this society, in this world. Purely because we stopped realizing that we are very important for ourselves. People may call it, people have started giving it names, selfish, staying alone, all those things, but it is not really the case. Till the time your brain, your mind is free from all these pains and other things that you are experiencing. See, what happens is, if you have a large vessel in your home, very large vessel, and you have to cook in that vessel, what will you do? Any burden in your home, which is very large, you have to cook for entire family of say 20 people, 25 people. How are you going to start your cooking in that big burden, big vessel?
Ma'am, the question is to cook for 20 people.
Yeah, 20, 25 people, X number of people. You have just one large vessel in your home, very big burden. What are the steps that you are going to cook?
Ma'am, we will avail the vegetables. Like we will first plan what is available in our home, and then we will make a list to purchase, and then we can call also, like who can support us. That also we will take it in mind, and then we proceed.
Okay. Anyone else who wants to answer this? How are you going to cook using a very large vessel? What is the first thing that you will do? You don't do cooking? None of you do cooking at home?
அபிமா கீழே தம்பியோட மருந்து இருக்கான்னு பாக்கியா? எப்படி?
Rati, your mic is unmuted. Please mute it.
யார் சொன்னா?
Yeah. So nobody cooks at home? I can't believe that. You must have cooked something or the other at home.
I didn't hear your question properly.
Question is that what do you do for the first step? You have to cook something for somebody. What is the first step that you do with the vessel? Any vessel,
Prepare
any burden.
mentally, ma'am. Prepare mentally. Like
what you are going to cook, right? So that's a planning. Right? After that, what is the action that you take after planning?
Clean the vessel and then
What things we need?
So that is what you will clean the vessel, right? How can you make something in an unclean vessel? Right? That is what we are going to do. So now you are that vessel. You have to pour something out of you to other people. Whether you call it love, you call it responsibility, you call it care. Every morning you're cooking for everybody. You want to give them love. You want to show them that you are responsible. So many things, especially for women and men who are responsible for running the houses. It is what it is, right? Every morning you start caring, getting a husband, children, you go out, earn money for wives and family, correct? Now, if you are not clean, if you are not properly, thoroughly washed, how will you ensure that the things that is within you is passing over to other people? So you are that vessel who is cooking everything for everyone every day. And if you're unclean, the older things are not cleared from you. If you have put something in one vessel, you will wash that again tomorrow and then start using it, right? You cannot really use that unclean one. So this is how your mind works. This is how your brain works. Every morning you have to unclear, every night you have to unclear whatever the past things were. Make sure every morning you're washing it with good thoughts, pure thoughts, positivity, and then you're filling yourself with lots of love, care, affection for yourself. And for that experience to happen, what you have to do is you have to give me time to yourself. That me time every morning, we also talked about it yesterday, is very important. Whether it is 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 1 hour, whatever time period it is, but you have to start giving that time to yourself for relaxing and experiencing the entire day that is going to be beautiful. And the day you start your day with just telling yourself that you love yourself, trust me, you will have a different level of confidence. The smile which is there, right? It's a constant smile. People tell me, ask me that why do you keep smiling all day? What is it that doesn't bother you? Why it happens is purely because, again, the same practice every morning you get up and tell you that I love God for sure, the one who has created us. Even I love myself because He has created me to do something. And I am happy that I am on the path of doing that. So if you are happy, if you are in love with yourself, you will fall in love with the work also that you are doing. So how we take responsibility for others is also going to change from there on. Once you start accepting that you are the most important person for yourself. Right? So this exercise was get up every morning, go and look yourself in the mirror. When you check your hair, when you check whether you're looking nice, just say I love you to yourself. It would be very difficult for the people who have never said it. First timers. Right? But once you start telling it, trust me, you will enjoy this process.
Yes, ma'am. It looks very difficult to say.
Highly
I love
difficult task, ma'am.
highly difficult.
Why it is
But
difficult?
if
When you
when we
tell,
work on
We are
practice,
not
we
used
get better,
to telling to ourselves. We are not used to telling ourselves.
Chalo, let's try it and let me know next Saturday how did you feel? How much difficulty did you face in doing? Right? You have 6 days from Monday to Saturday. Try at least once in these 6 days that you say I love you to
Ma'am,
yourself in mirror. Yeah.
actually, what changes will happen after saying this, ma'am?
Experience it. You say it and then you will get to know.
ma'am. Shall I express my experience, ma'am?
Yes, please.
When I heard about this and I was practicing, I love you, like Abdul Kalam statement, like I am best, and I like that. Those words it was very very difficult to tell that, ma'am. Initially, so whenever I tell, I will itself to my the mind will say you're lying now, like that thought will come, ma'am. You're lying like that. To overcome that, it was very difficult. Nowadays, I feel laughing about that. But those time it was very difficult to face ourselves.
Correct.
So I'm lying to myself. That hit me, and then the truth. I was okay. Let me accept the truth. Whatever it is, whatever I will accept like that. Then only
Yeah.
it started happening like blooming flower. It happened. That smile is always the smile is on my face.
Yes. And we can see that.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
this is the difference it makes. This is the difference it makes once you start accepting yourself. See, none of
And
us are perfect. We all know that, right? Every one of us has some or the other limitations, some or the other things which is missing. But it doesn't mean that you cannot love yourself. The most problem that we create for ourselves is we us. We keep telling and feeding in our mind that we are not good enough. But why are we not good enough? Why not start encouraging ourselves? Why not start accepting and giving love to the only person you live so much of lifetime with? Even when your husbands are not around or your wives are not around, your kids are not around, your parents are not around, you are still around yourself. And still we don't accept ourselves the way we are. So the most important point is that for instilling self-confidence, instilling loving relationship with other people that who are in our lifetime is purely accepting who you are, fill yourself with love, and then transfer that love to others. And trust me, once you start loving yourself and then start transferring that love, that quality of love, that quality of relationship will automatically improve for you with anyone in your life. Start doing with the person you don't have good relationship with and see the result. Automatically that relationship with mother-in-laws, with in-laws, anyone, with some relative, some friend who is not happy with us right now, not talking. Just try and do these things and see how things change for you. Instantly. Right? All these things have instant result. Only thing is you have to practice it. Start doing it. I can just tell you to do it, I cannot do it for you. Right? So next is now after social life is that spiritual health. Very importantly, and how mental health is different from spiritual health. How many of you consider mental health equivalent to spiritual health?
Yes, ma'am. I believe that spiritual health and mental health are the same, because when we do spirituality where we believe, like our guru, our God, then automatically we get peace of mind and stability of thinking, and that is the state of mental health also.
Like spirituality is also uh, interrelated or interconnected with mental health. If we have if the conflict is there, if there is a disturbance, then even we can't receive the power what the divine is giving to us. Like yesterday you were telling, like we have to declutter things, create space to receive more. If we go to the temple also, if we get any power from there, then we must be, if there is so much of dumping here, the mental health is very dumped, then the power cannot be received. So it is interrelated only, interconnected.
Everything is interrelated, right from our physical health. If you're not in good physical health, your mental health will also get affected a little bit. Similarly, even if you are in a good if you are physically well, but your mental health is not good, again, it will have a problem. So what spiritual health talks about is that as a community, when you're living with other people, what are the important things that you need to take care of? These important things are basically that you start believing. So there is a very clear demarcation between religious life that we live and the spiritual life that we live. Right? You understand that? For some people, religiously following rituals can be a part of the spirituality. But spirituality does not ask you to do all those rituals. What spirituality says that you connect with the one who has created us. Whosoever, in whatever religion. We're not saying that it is Jesus. We are not saying that it is, the Omkar. We're not saying that it is one of the gods which are there in Hinduism. We are not taking any one name. We are just saying the creator, whosoever has created this world. You have to become one with that. You have to start understanding how they follow. What are the principles of following the spiritual health? So, what is the major principle that they came up with? What did Jesus came to spread? If you have read about him somewhere, what is one thing that Jesus kept talking about the entire lifetime he was there on earth?
Spreading of love and peace.
Correct, right? Very good. So he just said one thing: spread love and peace amongst each other. Right? What is Guru Nanak Ji did in Sikhism? What was his message? If you have read about it somewhere or you know it, Guru Nanak Ji also said the same thing, that living with others in peace with kindness and love is very important. Now, what is Rama, Krishna, all these Vishnu avatars, whosoever was born, what did they say? They all said the same thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Love, peace, goodness, kindness, all that. So the message from every one of them, wherever you look, is the same. But how are we actually going to imbibe that, instill that in our day-to-day lives? Are we loving self? Are we that one loving self which is full of kindness and compassion for everyone? Are we like that? If we are not, then can we become one? Is it that difficult? When you go out and meet somebody, You expect love and care and affection, right? You do that? And if you do that, you have this expectation from other people, then why not give that to the other people? So spiritual health and the goals, which is related to it, talks about that you need to protect life. And that life is not necessarily yours. That life can be anybody's life. How can you be the protector of life? Is by showing kindness, by living with compassion, by understanding how people are living their lives. Again, your physical health, your mental health, your social health, and then your spiritual health are all accounted for. The second point it talks about is respect the individuality and independence. So now what is individuality and independence? I started cooking also. What are you cooking, Neha? Breakfast?
Yes, ma'am. My little one is
I know that. That's okay.
waking up.
These times are like that. Yeah. So what are you cooking?
Pakodas, ma'am. She wants that.
That's nice. Sunday morning pakoras. Yeah, carry on. Okay. So the question is that how do you respect the individuality and independence? Santoshji, you are here?
Ma'am,
Yes, sir.
we have to respect each and every person as ourselves, ma'am.
Okay. How do we
And
do that? Why we are saying that respect the
allowing
individuality?
allowing them to do their work independently. They are giving them what to say responsibility.
Right. Very true. Okay. Akila, what do you think?
Question to respect the choice, ma'am.
The second point, respect the individuality and independence.
Yeah, people are the way they are, and then we are accepting the way they are, and then
Do we do that?
Respect means that we all are different. We all are independent, and our thought process are also different. And respecting with that all.
Correct. But do we do that? Do we practice it on a day-to-day basis? Or we start controlling people? Or we start changing
Not
people
always.
as per our... What do we do as an individual is we try and create other people like us. Even our children. We try and tell them so many things so that they become like us. We stop asking them to be the individual that they are. We stop looking into the independence that they have. My mom told me that you have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I am also telling my children to get up in the morning at 5 o'clock. Why? I know it's not a bad practice. I'm not saying it from that point of view. It's just an example I'm quoting. That's something which has been told to us, or maybe our parents used to scold us that you have to study very hard, you have to excel in the class, forget about other activities. It's only the studies that you have to be good in. And we stopped taking care of. Did we feel comfortable in the entire school life when people were telling us to excel in studies? Were we very comfortable with that? You were comfortable?
Repeat the question, ma'am.
Were you comfortable or happy when your parents every day were comparing you with other people and telling you to excel?
No, ma'am.
Not at all.
Right? None of us were
No,
happy.
ma'am. No.
And let's accept it that we were not happy. But why are we then doing the same thing with our kids as a parent? Are we doing the same thing with our parents? Are we telling them the same thing that our parents told us? Excel, excel, excel. Bring marks, comparisons.
Here there is a difference, ma'am.
Yeah.
We are not able to Yes, in childish, when we are child, we were not able to accept the comparison. We were, when we are trying, they were trying to say to be excel. But as a parent, now we understand that excellence is more important. So we are enforcing that much.
Who said excellence is important? Who is saying that?
But survival expects that, no, ma'am, sometimes.
What is survival? Are you not surviving when you did you excel every time in every class?
Not really, ma'am.
Not really.
But
Right? No,
not
let's just
really.
say, yeah, not really is the answer, right?
I
You
understood,
had
ma'am.
you have
But
somebody who were excelling better than you. Even today, you have your classmates who are doing better than you.
yes, ma'am. I am
Correct?
very happy with what I am today. But the thing is that if we are allowing, like, as me, for example, me, I have understood the excellence and things is what I am, what I accept myself, that I understood. And if I'm not forcing or things, I'm not expecting from the children, no? The people with, around us will tell, Are you really mother?" Like, you're not taking this.
Yes, that's the whole point, Vinita. That is what I'm trying to say, that we are living our life purely with the pressure of society and other people has told us to do. Why can't we change it now? Why can't we accept individuals as individuals, give them their independence? Why can't we look into that one thing your child is special in?
For example, my daughter, a small daughter, is very much interested for cooking, and she bakes cake, and she's very much interested for artwork, ma'am. So these two
So
only she will more focus. She
she's
will not
showing
focus on.
you, yes, so she's
Yeah.
showing her inclination toward art and
Yes, ma'am.
creativity to you
Yes, ma'am.
right now. So
I
when,
really admire her, ma'am. I
and
will
we know
encourage
it,
her. I
yes,
will encourage all those things, but
absolutely.
studies she will not do, ma'am. She will not. When I ask her to study, now she will give escapism and she will
Because
get
her
away.
mind is creative and our studies are not creative, unfortunately. The education system we have created is not creative from any standards.
But when I accept that and when I encourage her, around me people will be telling, "What your mother? She's cooking now itself."
Forget
And
about that is other people. See, it's your responsibility. Your child is your responsibility completely. What our parents have done wrong does not really require us to go wrong in that way. And that's when this respect, this individuality, independence will change. And not just with our children, even with our spouses. We try and control our husbands and our wives and our parents and everybody around us so much that it creates botheration. We are creating more botheration for self first because we want to be in charge, we want to be in control all the time. Imagine so much of responsibility on your head. I don't do that. I tell my son to clean his room. That's all, once. If he doesn't do it, let it be the way it is. For a number of days. I will not go and do it for you. That's very clear. I will not allow my house help to do it for you. It's your room, it's your responsibility, it's you as an individual. You want to live in this dirty room, your choice. You want to live in clean room, your choice. I will not let him enter in my bedroom and spoil it. So that is the clear rule, very clear. And I don't get bothered with what people and society is going to talk about me if I change as a parent, if I'm changing certain things as a parent. I know he's not good in studies. He's not brilliant in studies. He's okay, average, above average. He's not brilliant. I know he can never top the class. I have accepted this fact. And with that, what is the relationship has become much more better because he knows he's very good in physical games. He loves to play basketball. He loves to go out do taekwondo. He has won so many championships. We are happy with that. So it's you as an individual who is accepting other individuals the way they are. And why not start it from the childhood itself for these people? Imagine now you are a teacher or you're on the path of becoming a life coach. Some parents comes to you. What kind of life coach you are going to give to the parents? That no, beat your child and say that you have to excel. Will it work? Did it work for any one of us? We got beatings. Abhi so now we have stopped doing it for our children, but our parents were never shy away from doing this. They have beaten us because that's what that was healthy at that point in time. Now people have said that it is unhealthy to beat your children. Okay, fine, we accepted that. Now people are saying that, let your children excel. People have started preparing their kids for IIT and MBBS NEET examination from class 7th, 8th onwards. Why bringing so many unnecessary pressure? Where is the childhood going? Was childhood ever meant to do studies only? It doesn't. It doesn't allow you to live your life the way you want to live. And I'm just giving you one perspective as a parent child. Imagine so many other people coexisting together and we do not respect their individuality. People living with us. Why people are so unhappy in their relationships these days? So unhappy. Wherever
Not
you
able
go,
to not able to accept themselves, so they're not able to understand or give the take the other person also.
right? Because the spiritual health is
Expectation.
absolutely, yeah, because the spiritual health is absolutely gone. It's not there, it doesn't exist. There is no compassion for self because हम अपने आप को, there is a मापदंड, there is a benchmark that we keep comparing ourselves with. Me as a mother versus other mothers. Me as a professional versus other professionals. Me as this thing versus other things. And that comparison, that benchmark, things have created more problem and complexities for me. Why not accept what I am doing is best I am doing? Because I know this much only. This is what I am. And do it from your heart. Don't do it because people are telling you to do that. The people will always tell you to do something different. Even if you are succeeding, people will try and pull you out. If you're not succeeding, even then they will try to tell you that you're not succeeding. Why listen to somebody who's not bothered? Why not instill a lot of compassion in you? A lot of kindness. First for yourself and then for others. Right? Can we do that? So that's how the life can change. Start respecting the way people are. Just simple. Accept how they are. Without judging. It takes time to practice that. That judgment will still come. That biases will still come. But slowly we have to remove that.
Ma'am, that bias only we are not unable to handle the bias, ma'am. Sometimes, so um, we are not able to tolerate that bias sometimes, and so we are quitting, ma'am. We are quitting our even the known fact also. Whatever we are known the truth also. Sometimes, whenever we are unable to handle the bias, we try to quit ourselves, ma'am.
Right. So that is by this third point, that tolerance, understanding, and help. Very important. We need to become more tolerable for other people's expectations and how they live their life. Become more
Ma'am, I
tolerable.
have a question here, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Like, how to handle people if they show negativity towards us most of the time? How can we accept them, without being judgmental?
So first thing is, the question is that why do you need to handle them? Why do you want to handle somebody? Why do you want to handle somebody who is negative? What is the need? What is your need attached to?
What if they are very close?
If they are part of our life in our home, so how will handle?
What if they are very close relative to us? For example,
On a daily
sometimes they may
basis.
be our in-laws or yeah. And when they only show negativity towards us, and we are aware of it that they are showing only negative feelings towards us. So what in that case, like even for example, like if I'm trying to tolerate in most of the situation, and if they take advantage of the situation and try to create tantrums whenever possible they can, and at sometimes it is going to burst out in both the sides. Like how to we know that at the initial stage, we know that they are showing negativity towards us. And how do we handle those kind of people and accept them without being judgmental?
Okay. How are you doing right now? What do you do if somebody shows negativity?
Right now, I'm only avoiding, ma'am.
You're avoiding them, right?
Yeah.
All of us.
And I'm actually accepting that person. Okay,
or
this is their
listening to
character.
whatever they are saying. Yeah. So we are just
This is
listening.
their character. They know only this, so they're showing that to us.
Correct.
So this is the kind of reaction that this is the kind of thing that I'm like avoiding that person.
Right.
Now
if I tell you something, will you do it for sure without asking questions?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, accept it and then do it. If you do not accept it, ask questions. That's okay. So, okay, first question is that, if somebody is sick in front of you, very sick physically, what do you do?
Sorry, ma'am. What do I do? You're asking.
Yeah. So somebody is very close to you and they are very sick, and you know they are very sick. What do you do in that case?
They're very sick.
Sick in the sense they're not well.
Okay. Definitely, we will not think about whatever they have done in the past. If they have done something negative or something, we will only see it in a very humanitarian way.
Sick, yeah. So somebody is sick in your house, in your family. What do? You start looking after them, right?
Yes.
You provide them care.
Yeah.
Or even if you're not able to provide them care, they do not stay with you. You give them blessings and you pray for them.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? That's what we all do. Right? It's the compassion we all have. This much compassion we all exist with. So now imagine this person who is spreading negativity is the sick person. He's mentally sick.
You mean like mentally sick?
Yes, they are mentally sick, and that is why, and it's not their fault. They have been taught to do this, I don't know, since ages.
Okay, but what if the entire family gets affected because of that, because of their negative
I'm coming to
reaction?
that. I am telling you this solution. When you start nurturing them, or when you start giving them care, or if you cannot give care, then give them blessings and prayers. Every time one negative remark comes to you, give them blessing instead. If you cannot say openly, say it in your heart that I bless you, that your mind comes to normal self.
Okay.
Just try and do it for 10 days, 15 days, and you will see the change in the behavior in the person automatically. But do it with your heart. Don't do it just because I have told you. Try, it will come with practice. See, when we have negativity about somebody, if somebody is negative about us, we know it. We also have negativity about it.
Ma'am, but the situation is like the person doesn't directly come and affect you with their negative thoughts. Like if they're blaming you falsely, they're only triggering someone else who's even more closer to us. Like, for example, my in-law is triggering my brother to,
I understand that, right? And these situations will come to you when you become life coach. Maximum problems from women will come to you for this reason. And that is why I'm saying that first you have to try, use it for yourself, and then only you will be able to help them.
Now I am able to understand the situation. Okay, fine. The background where the person has grown up, so they are emoting these kind of things. I'm able to view it in this angle. But for instance, my parents who are decades, apart. I mean, who are like decades apart from my thinking or something, who have a very older version, they are not able to accept it. First of all, they are not able to digest the fact
for that. They also blame you that you are at fault. Okay, so that's very common with the parents. So that's okay.
Yeah, I'm only trying to console them and bring them out of it. Okay, it is very common. It is happening in most families. Don't worry too much about it. It is only going to spoil your health. Or they might understand in their future. So don't overthink about it. These kind of suggestions I'm giving them. But still, they are not able to come out of it, and it is internally affecting their mental and physical health also.
For sure, yeah, because their parents, they love them, so it will happen. So
Yeah.
see, again the same thing I'm saying, that when you have to change something which is happening from ages,
Mm.
right? Something which has been, it's called patriarchy. Right? In our
Okay.
patriarchal society, this is a grassroots level problem that people accept women to get much more inclined towards accepting whatsoever is being given to them. And
Okay.
unfortunately, all mother-in-laws also fall into that particular.
Okay.
So now what you can do, you understand the problem. We all understand this problem that it has been going on. So first is to break that thing yourself. Never tell your children to, I mean, this gender differentiation that we do at our home, stop doing that yourself. First,
Yes.
as a mother, you change your thoughts. First, as a mother, take responsibility that you are nurturing your son and daughter in a similar way, just as human beings, not as genders. You cannot
Okay.
define, nobody in this world define that a woman will give birth to a child also and she will nurture her also. Nobody decided that. Nobody decided this role that she will cook and she will look after the family. It was never there. If you read Upanishad, in one shloka, it is very clearly written, when the mother is giving birth, she needs love and nurturing herself. And it is the responsibility of the immediate family member, which is the husband, to nurture and look after her. So that means, as a woman, our responsibility is just to give birth. After birth, whatever happens for whatever time period is the responsibility of the husband. And that's when he can become a father. That's when he can become an equal contributor in nurturing a child. Otherwise, what is his responsibility? Nothing. So first is to accept these things, understand from where it is coming. Slowly, Rishi Munis, especially this person, Manu Rishi, he changed the entire perspective. He said woman has to give birth and nurture of the family also. From there, the thing started actually spoiling. That she will be the caregiver, she will be the one who will give birth, and she'll be the one who will look after the entire family. From then onwards, it started spoiling the entire patriarchal system. Totally because they wanted to control women. Because if you see, I am not saying that just for the sake of it because I am a woman. Women are much more tolerant, women are much more understanding, women are much more beautiful creations of God than men. Right?
Okay.
And in all animal species, you will see it is the woman who rules. She is the one who makes choices. In all animal species, it is the honeybee which rules. Okay? It is the lioness who makes a choice with which lion I have to make and start my family. She has that choice. And entire animal kingdom has this choice where women rules.
Okay.
And there is also a saying like the women who cry, the if the women in a home is crying, then the whole family will be like, it will not come up, it will not
Sorry.
grow.
Yeah. Yeah, the
So we
electricity again. Yeah, Niveda, please carry on.
yes, ma'am. Like in a the women who has to be taken care in a family where the women is not taken care, then the family doesn't grow well, or the family cannot go to a higher state. Like that, there is a saying, ma'am.
Who said that? Again, that are saying, but who said that? Why the responsibility of women?
No, ma'am. Women should
It
not
is.
cry. That means the people around
Hmm.
us should take care of the women. The women should
Correct.
be kept in a.
Yeah.
They have to be respected and they have to be treated well. That is, if they are not
Absolutely.
treated well, then that family will be not blooming or growing. They cannot
Yes,
see the higher face.
and it
And
doesn't bloom.
the
You have
experiences also.
Lakshmi,
Yeah,
Saraswati, whatever the knowledge of,
Parvati,
there is another god,
Par-
Parvati,
Parvati, ma'am,
yeah,
Gauri Mata.
Annapurna, right? So all these three are women. That means you have to give even more power and respect to that person who is there everywhere. And if people are not giving, purely because the patriarchal system started taking shape, men became very much aware that these people are very powerful than us, they will start ruling us if we'll not control them. And they started controlling us in making sure that she doesn't go out, she doesn't meet too many people, she stays within the boundaries of the four walls, start taking care of this entire thing, only the family, right? And that's when the entire system changed. Before that, if you see, women were progressing. They were doing so many different kind of things in their family. They were shikaris also. They used to go out and do the wars also. Everything was happening. But suddenly, things started taking shape because some men became aware of this fact. Now, coming to the current problem, when you understand this basic fundamental that you have the power to change, first understand that you are that powerful that you can change. With your thought process only, you can change somebody else's thought process. But for that, you need to do a lot. If you have negativity in your brain about them, then you and them are similar, the same things. Then you cannot change. So first is you have to clear your mind of all the clutter, that accept they are fine. What they are doing is because they have been taught to do that. Simple fact, acceptance. Once that acceptance comes, you find the solution. You give them blessings, prayers. Just tell the Almighty that whatever they are doing, please give them blessing that all the obstacles are removed from their brain. And see them turning around. Just by meditation, just give them affirmations. As I said in yesterday's class, next week I'm going to introduce you to a very powerful technique which is called whiteboarding. So whiteboard technique is one of the powerful most which is used for forgiveness. And when you start forgiving people, automatically people will start accepting that thing unknowingly. The forgiveness is such a powerful tool because what happens is when you do not forgive people. For example, the same thing that your in-laws are creating too much of problem in our lives, and that happens with almost, I think, 90% of women. It keeps happening at some stages because we are the ones who leave our house and come to other person's house, right? So that is a very normal problem. Not normal, actually, it's not very bad problem. But I share wonderful relationship with my mother-in-law. She, more than my husband, she believes in me. She shares everything, every single problem, even of her daughters and their families. She comes and shares everything with me. And it was not the case initially. It took time for us to adjust with each other. So she was not really that bad a woman. But yes, I did these activities with her. I blessed her so much that whatever negativity my sister-in-laws are putting in her mind, let her away from that. And she understood this automatically without me getting involved. She knows who takes care of her more than other family members. So now the relationship is so beautiful that she cooks for me. She sends. We don't stay together, but she keeps sending different kind of things. She makes wonderful achars, so she keeps sending those achars to me. So that's how the relationship has come to. That people have started accepting you, they started accepting your individuality, and they respect you for who you are because you have given them that. See, some point from somewhere it has to start, right? If they are not knowledgeable, you are knowledgeable now. You understand how it is starting. So once you are knowledgeable, you have accepted, you have become aware, find solution. Solution is give them blessings, give them prayers, send them affirmations that they become good and healthy. Just simple. That whatever they are doing, please God, make them healthy. I am giving them blessings that all these negativity is removed from their brain and heart.
Ma'am, I have
Simple.
another question here, ma'am.
Yes.
For example, okay, if they do certain negative things, I mean, we can understand that maybe because of the environment they have brought up or things that they have faced, they have experienced, we can take it in that way. But what if they blame, tell, lie about us to our own circle of people that this person has cheated on me or this person
They will
has
say this. No,
not
see,
respected me?
because they have to control you, and so they will say anything. They will go to any extent. But
Okay,
do you
but in
want to
this
go to
case,
their level and
I
fight?
don't want to even talk about the person who's spreading this negative stuff about us. But how do we control ourselves? Because when someone tells something false about us, definitely humans cannot accept it. We will only instantly get triggered, however, how much ever in a meditative state our mind is or something. So in that kind of situation, how do we handle our own emotions and our own self? Like if a third person comes and asks me, this so and so has spoken, I mean, like false about you. She has told this, and I know that I haven't done that. So in that case, how do I control myself?
Are you know it that you have not done that? So that is the control. You have the power.
Know that I have not done that. So
yeah, so you
I'm
know
not going to
it.
take too much into my mind. But what if that person keeps creating tantrums to make me ask sorry to them, or feel sorry about whatever I have done? I mean, which I have not done. What if they create false dramas about us to people in our own circle? In that case, how do we react to the situation, and how do we handle our own emotions? That is my question.
Okay. So see, the question is, it's all about ecosystem playing, right?
Okay.
I know it would look very difficult for all of you to accept this fact, but this is the truth that when we react to somebody for some problem, any problem, right? Any false thing that has come to us, or anything that, people are saying that you have done, but you've not done. The reaction that we show is basically from our ego point of view, from the state of ego that you are in. Now start accepting the fact that you've not done it. You know it very well that you have not done anything like that. And now you are in that state where there is no ego is at play and you're not getting affected. It is our ego which actually hampers this entire thing. The reactions comes from our ego purely. Right? When you say that meditative state of mind is very calm and relaxed. It is not bothered about what other people are saying and thinking about you completely. And when you reach that stage of life in your brain, in your mind, you're not bothered about what people are saying. And slowly they will become redundant. They will not say anything to you because they know that it is not affecting. Right now, they are triggering you because they know it is affecting her. Right now, they are saying all these things because they know the reaction will come. She will react, she will say something, she will not cook for us, she will not do these things, whatever reactions that we are giving. That negativity that we are sending out. Now, instead of negativity, you start sending them positivity. They are saying something, it's all right. You say something, I still give you love. You are saying something, I am not reacting you from my ego state, I am reacting you from my childhood state where I am still sending you love. Go back to your childhood self. Right? Imagine a child. You tell something to a child 7 times, 8 times in a day. Still, 9th time, that child will come back to you and say, give me a hug, give me kissy, give me this. There is no such thing in their brain that stops them from coming to you. Right? Go to that level, become that. And that is what we are. That is the true existence of us. Stop reacting to anything that is being said to you. And I'm saying anything means it can be good, it can be bad. We become so happy, people can trigger us with happiness also. People tell you, no, Niveda is such a wonderful person. She's this, she's that, she's great, she's this. And we are pumped up. Now we say, I am on 7th level, I am on 7th. This thing, I am the best, I have the power, people are telling me this. That is also ego state. Right? Your reaction to something, to somebody, to anybody should be from very, very normal state. That I know myself. For that, you need to know yourself. You have to become aware about who you are. If Niveda knows that I am just 20% good in this, but people still are saying that I am 100%. So her comparison is not happening because of people. She's making this comparison because she's aware that I'm 20% good in this. I still have to achieve 80% for myself, not for showing others. Right? So that acceptance has to come. See, spirituality has just 3 rules. One is knowing who you are. Simple. Go to that level where you start knowing yourself. Second is accept who you are. Right? So the first step is awareness, second is acceptance, and third is becoming conscious about it. And once you become conscious about it, then what happens? You reach that stage of bliss, which is Satchitananda again. That state of bliss has to happen. That state of meditativeness has to happen, and it should continue in your brain all the time, every time, wherever you are. Nobody, because when we give reaction, we give power to somebody to manipulate us. I am giving this power to somebody to manipulate me because they can trigger me. If somebody else has that power to trigger me, then what is my existence? I am just a puppet in their hands. They can use me anytime. They can use me at any point in time. Why am I becoming a puppet in their hand? Do you want to live life like that? Right? So once you realize that, stop living life according to them. Completely. Don't give reaction. Give them loving reaction. Send them love. Send them blessing. Send them bliss. That's it. Become Chikna Ghada. Have you heard this phrase in Hindi? Become that Chikna Ghada. Put so much of oil on you that whatever people are saying, those things are just going away completely. Sometimes becoming that is very, very, very positive thing. Sometimes ignorance becomes bliss. That is why people say that. Become ignored. Just ignore. Just stay away from all that negativity. Because that's your choice. You're making that choice. You're not giving them that power of ruling you. And that is what most of us do wrong. Right? Even after understanding all these things, we still want to react to people the way they want. I don't give reactions. Right? Even if somebody is in fighting mode in my professional life also, because we are business consultants, so people, come from various point of view, different kind of things they say. My only mantra is come and sit down with me in the room and let's have chat. And after the chat, that person will turn around the way he or she thinks. Simple. So don't shout at me, don't show me tantrums, don't do all these things. Come and have a chat with me. Simple. Over a cup of coffee. I always offer that. Come, let's have coffee. Because HR is again a very complex kind of a thing to handle. In HR, we also deal with human beings. In life coaching, also, you're doing the same thing. And trust me, Gayatri, people will come to you when you start becoming a life coach. This is the maximum problem that people will come to you. People will come to you that I am being abused with my family. Domestic abuse is happening on the level where the physical abuse is happening at such level where women are so bothered about this, and they are still existing in that family and they cannot leave it because they do not have financial independence. Right? So how will you ensure that you are giving them something till the time you have not practiced it? Mantra is stop taking anything. I'm using a very bad language, but stop taking bullshit from anyone, no matter whosoever. Okay? That wrong, that negativity is going to hamper you more. So stop taking that. Stop accepting that. I don't accept. I am who I am. I know. I am Gayatri Anand. I know what I am capable of. I know what are my strengths. I know my weaknesses. But I'm not going to react to you the way you want me to. I'm more powerful than you. I give you love. I give you kindness. I give you compassion. It's simple. Just these three things. Right? I'll send you some affirmations. Practice those affirmations when you have such problems. And these affirmations will take care of it itself. But you have to keep repeating it and do it from very pure heart. I know it gets difficult initially because that negativity is still in us, exists in us. But just to remove that negativity will take some time. But over practice, you will see that people are changing in their relationship. They will stop bothering you, and trust me, 100%. Their nature will change without you saying a single word to them directly.
Ma'am, can you state some few negative feelings like fear, anger? What are the most negative feelings that we should avoid? Can you state a few?
Fear is not negative.
Okay.
Totally. Why fear is not negative is, see, because we have to become fearful of certain things. For example, now you're going out, you suddenly are on the roads right? You see a very large stone in front of you. And you see that large stone is rolling towards you, you become fearful. That fearfulness will bring immediate solutions in your brain. So fearfulness is not that bad. But living life in fear constantly is a problem. See, emotions in any ways are not good. Even anger is not bad. But how much are we living with them is a problem. The intensity is a problem. The occurrence is a problem. How many times are you reacting to people with these emotions? It brings too much of negativity. Right? We all are born with these emotions, every one of us. And somebody who has created us has created these emotions also. Suddenly it has not gone, right? If you are happy, if you are joyful, if you are in that mode of feeling happiness and joy, so the opposite is sorrow, gloom. That is also important. So somebody dies in the family, it's important to grieve. Those 13-day period, which we call therapy, in Hinduism, this 13-day period is a grieving period that you are crying right now, so that for the entire life you're letting that person go to the other world. You're not
But
stopping that person.
it is acceptable only to some level, no, ma'am. Like you cannot grieve about it always. What
That's what
about
I'm
like
saying. So
vengeance,
these
jealousy?
13 days, yeah, this 13 days is the time period when you're grieving. That's it. It is meant only for that. People who keep crying after 13 days is creating a problem for the other person to travel to other world. That is also a possibility. Jealousy, again, yes, is a negative emotion. But again, you can control the jealousy in terms of the intensity of it. So as I said, none of the emotions which has been created or given to us is very negative. It is just that how we use it and for what purpose we are using it and at what intensity we are using it as a problem. Even love for that matter. Over nurturing, over caring is also a problem. Right? So how much amount you are using these particular feelings are. For example, you know that your child has done something really wrong, something bad. Still you are becoming protective, still you are over caring, still you are trying to hide that thing. What is this? Is it the child's fault or our fault? Right? It is us who becomes at fault at that point in time. Correct? So over
Yeah.
intensity of any feeling, any emotion is always a problem. So that is where the entire world is going problematic. That they don't know how to use this stuff. Use it moderately. Even if you're jealous because your husband is talking to somebody, that's a beautiful feeling. You are protective about that, right? So that much jealousy is fine. But you are taking a knife and killing that person is over jealousy and you are creating a botheration for yourself. So this is
Okay.
the intensity on which you are using these emotions. Similarly,
Like,
fear is good,
for
but
example,
over fearing is a problem.
yeah. For example, if I see one of my very close friend who is like traveling, having world tours and all these things, she is in a very different status. She is enjoying all the luxuries around her, and she's having a lot of world tours. She's going to different countries and she's posting pictures of it. I know I cannot do the same thing. That is the reality which I have to accept. But I know I can travel to some parts of the country or to the world at some point of my time. So, but at this point, I'm like experiencing that little amount of jealousy. And when I come to reality, I know I want to come out of it. But uh, but also, how do I eradicate that complete jealousy by the instant when I see those pictures or when I hear those things? How do I eradicate that instant jealousy which comes to me?
See, the jealousy is, it is not jealousy, it is more envy. because you are envious about of that person of doing something that you are not able to do at this point in time. That's called enviousness. Right? Now, when we envy others, it's purely because we make comparisons. There is a saying that grass looks greener on the other side, always. So we always think that the other person is always enjoying their life because they are making a comparison. But why comparison is being made? You are an individual, a different kind of. She's an individual, a different kind of. Your reality and her reality are two different things. Her family, your family, her maybe existence, your existence, all these things is different. She might have taken a courage to start her professional life or live life according to her own rules. Not have that courage today. Someday, with practice, you will get that courage. I told my family members that I will go for vacations with all of you, lot of time in a year, but at least 2 vacations I'll take purely for myself, completely solo. I will not want to take responsibility because ultimately, what happens when you go and travel with family, your vacation will become the same thing that happens in the family. Your children are there, your dogs are there, your family is there. So I told them that 2 vacations in a year is just mine, and you're not going to ask me questions where I am, what I am. You do know it, whatever I am doing. That's my choice. I will be doing it, and we accepted that. I took courage. They accepted it. Though I was not really waiting for them to accept, but because this is the kind of family we live in, so that courage has to happen from you, and slowly it will come. See, let's go step by step. How are we going to make changes in our life? Right? There is no fast mantra about it. Slowly it happens with you accepting yourself first. Second step, that you bring that clarity, what you want to bring into your life, what is the purpose that you want to do. Third, you start giving love and compassion to yourself. Fourth, you start giving blessings to other people. And the fifth step is that understanding of yourself and others. Accept completely, pure heart. Accept whatever people are, however they are. As I said yesterday, I gave you an example. If husband is showing towel on the bed, accept it, it's fine. Why argue every morning about this thing? If he is not changing, why do you want to bother yourself so much? If your children are not clearing their room, not doing that, it's fine. Don't bother yourself. I'm not saying don't discipline them. I'm just saying don't get bothered. Discipline them. Tell them. Give a slap if you want to. But stop bothering yourself about that. What we do as a woman, what we do as individuals is we start taking responsibility of everyone's behavior. It is not your responsibility to do that. Accept them as individuals. They will turn out to be much better human beings later on, especially the children. Don't try and control them and don't show them that controlling can happen. Right? Imagine a child who gets into this habit, I can be controlled. He or she then can be controlled by everyone, the mother-in-laws, the in-laws, the professional lives, the managers, their bosses, everywhere. Then he or she will not be able to say exactly what they feel and do. So stop controlling the children. Listen to them is very important. Their point of view can actually make differences in our life. So as a mother, the first thing is after you change yourself, as a mother, you can change it. You can break that thing that is happening from ages, patriarchy system, completely. I feel that mothers at this stage can change the way we are nurturing our kids. All the mothers, because the responsibility lies with us more. And if your husband is co-partner in this nurturing, then it's even wonderful. Then you can train them for also. So we will come to the emotions part. There is a complete chapter of emotions also in life coaching. How are we going to deal with this? So we will be talking about them as well. What are the solutions and reactions that we can give? I'll give you from psychology point of view, and I will give you spirituality point of view, how things can be. But for now, and give them blessings, as much blessings as you can. Difficult, but try and do. Yeah. So we will do this chapter, this last slide next week. Then I guess we do not have much time.
Sure, ma'am.
11. Yeah. So any questions, anybody else who has? So basically this slide, we have already done that, right? Now it's basically the self-realization stage which comes after you reach spirituality. This is what I was just telling Gayatri, that you need to do is spending time itself, your acceptance, living authentically. Authentically means what you practice only you can talk. You have to do that walk the talk kind of a thing. And appreciate the small things in life. Appreciate everything that you have. You know, if you're able to sleep on a bed, if you are able to get up early in the morning, if you are able to listen to music, if you have children who loves you, you know, there are so many smaller things in life we do not really give them that much of affection that required. That is the self-realization stage of divine devotees. And once you reach this stage, after all the four goals, this is the stage which is that meditative stage. If you're always constantly smiling, you're always in that state, people जिसमें आपको you have to sit in dhyana. You don't even have to sit in dhyana once you reach this stage. But this stage can be only reached when you have taken care of your physical goals, your mental goals, your spiritual goals, and your social goals. All those goals, and then we can reach this. How many of you spend time with yourself every day? Sorry, that's the last question.
Me, ma'am.
How much time?
I spend 15 minutes for me when I was free from morning routine, when kids go to school and husband to office, by learning new things, by reading book, or by from Insta or from Facebook, something new, what I like.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Anybody else
spend
spends
2 hours, ma'am, for myself.
doing what?
By doing what? Yeah. Ma'am, your mic is on mute, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah, telling something.
So like after my elder son leaves to school and my husband goes to office, my younger son sleeps early in the, I mean like around 9:30, 10 o'clock. From 10 to 12, I have my own time. At that time, I generally do some self-care for my own self. For my weight reduction, I'll prepare some weight loss drink and I will have it, or some salad or some juices and I will have it. And something for my skincare. I used to put some face packs or something. After that, I'm doing an internship for my job. So I will look out for exercises and start solving them and do some preparation see some recorded videos and get some idea about the topic and take down some notes. And after that, I will watch any shows which I like to watch, which with my family or with my kids. Whenever, I mean, whichever show is not possible to watch, probably I will watch those kind of shows for about some half an hour or 1 hour, and then I will again get ready and leave to school to pick up my son. So I usually get 2 hours in the morning.
Very good. So these 2 hours are basically spent on other things, not on yourself, right? Spending time itself means that you are either practicing meditation, you are sitting with you and talking to yourself in terms of planning what is happening with you.
Okay, ma'am.
Understanding that inner clarity that we talked about. So even if you're doing it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes in a day, it's very important that you're spending time itself. Even if you're listening to very good music. Like you're watching a television show, is again cluttering your mind with something that will happen. So spending time itself is decluttering. You are just removing things. All negativity. That is very important. So even if it is 5 minutes, it has to be a quality time that you spend. Right? For example,
Okay, ma'am, I will definitely try to follow.
when we spend time with a loved one, what do? We just, take their hands, go for a long walk, we go for a long drive. Even if you're not talking, we're just spending time sitting together. So similar things should happen with us. That quality time.
I don't practice meditation, but I do some yoga again early in the morning, like some yoga exercises, and then I will continue these things.
Yoga is meditation itself.
Sorry,
Practice
yoga.
it on a- Yoga is also meditation. When you do it
Okay.
on a regular period of time, it becomes that meditation. Do it.
Okay.
Clears your brain. It clears your body. Okay.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Yeah.
And do these chantings. You know? See, these chantings are very powerful chantings. And it has deep meaning. It is not religious. Om is not religious chanting. Satchit Ananda is not religious chanting. Aham Brahmasmi is not religious chanting. This can be done by anyone, wherever, whichever religion it is. These are just mantras which are written in our Upanishads and we have never known about it. Right? And it is very powerful here.
Ma'am, may I know how to spend quality time within 5 to 10 minutes for us?
Is wonderful. Just chant these two things, immediate effect. When you are doing breathing techniques, just start chanting Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi is very powerful for courage, for self-confidence, for showing that you have the power to create your own life. Simple. You are the Brahma means you are the creator of your own life and destiny. Once you start believing in that, you will stop having people controlling you in any manner. The stomach part, which is the chakra which is ruled by solar plexus, says that you are enough and you are good enough to do something that you want to do in your life. Brahmasmi is called that. When you're taking that breathe in, try and see that this is reaching your stomach area, the breathing. When you exhale, you just have this feeling, just have this intention that whatever is negative in you is coming out of that exhale. So the meaning is this only of pranayama. Inhale means all the light and love I am accepting. Exhale means all the negative emotions and everything I am exhaling. Simple. Just do it with this intention and you will have much more clarity in 7-8 days. All right, so it's time I think we should, it's 11:19, we should now say byes and let's meet Saturday. And you have 4 activities which was given to you yesterday, so just practice them. This week assignment is not more than that. All right. If you have any questions, you can ask me any point in time. That's not really necessary that you have these questions only in the class. You have something, let me know on WhatsApp. I'll try and answer it. And I'll try and share those verses of Upanishads, which is really helpful for you to understand how you were really created. Okay? All right. Thank you so much for your time. Lovely talking to all of you. Be blessed.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
It was
you,
a
ma'am.
wonderful
Thank you,
session,
ma'am.
ma'am.
have a good week ahead.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's really wonderful session, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. It's all possible because of all of you sharing experiences.
Thank you, ma'am.
Be blessed by